Okay, in last session we have installed app server profile. Okay. So today I am going to install deployment manager profile using profile management tool. So app server profile creates server. The type of that server is application server. So that server we use to run the business applications.
Venkat, what is the difference between installable apps and installed apps in application server profile?
Can you repeat again?
Yeah, I was checking the application server profile, and I could actually over there was installed apps. I could figure it out like this application that is being installed in that JVM. But another folder was installable apps. So what is that? What is the difference between these two directory inside the application server profile?
Yeah, installable apps are some applications comes with the product. Okay, we can install. Okay, so if we want, we can install later those apps. But installed apps are already, if the app is installed, that application we can find in the installed apps.
Oh yeah, that I could figure it out. The installed apps are something that user need application, or installable apps are not sure for that.
Your voice is actually breaking and it's not clear.
Now, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So installable apps is for that product contains some applications in the installable apps. if we want, we can install those apps also. Okay.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So now select management. And in management, we have 3 profiles: administrative agent, deployment manager, and job manager. So these 3 profiles contains different types of servers. So those servers we use to manage the WebSphere application servers. Okay, to manage the WebSphere application servers. So using these 3 profiles. Okay. So first I'm installing deployment manager. So read this description here. A deployment manager provides management capability for multiple federated nodes. A deployment manager can manage nodes that span multiple systems and platforms. The nodes that are managed by a deployment manager can only be managed by single deployment manager and must be federated to the cell of the deployment manager. So click next.
So Winkat, a real quick question. So the deployment manager is required for us to manage applications plus, for clustering also to deploy nodes in the cluster?
Yeah, correct. Exactly.
Okay, thanks.
So the purpose of the deployment manager is mainly single point administration. Suppose if I install 2 app server profiles, to manage those app server profiles, we have to manage using the administrative console of each app server. Okay, so to manage multiple app server profiles from single point, okay, using some single interface. So to manage all the app server profiles from single interface, so we can achieve using the deployment manager profile. And once we manage that, for that we have to federate the nodes of the app server profiles. Okay. Once we federated the nodes to the deployment manager cell, we can create the clusters also. Okay.
And also, when we say federate, what do we mean? It's not federation like Active Directory Federation Services or anything like that.
Yeah, I will tell you the federation. So deploy the administrative console. That means we are deploying isclite.er in the DMGR process also. So generally in DMGR we don't deploy any business applications, but system apps. Okay, some system apps will be installed in the deployment manager process. So DMGR is also one JVM. We don't deploy any business applications here, but we manage the business applications through DMGR admin console, but we don't deploy, we don't install on the DMGR directly. So only some system apps will be installed on the deployment manager process. So we are installing isclite on DMGR also. So click next. So DMGR profile name is by default DMGR01 and default profile location is under the app server profiles DMGR01. So click next. So here make this profile the default. Okay. So generally we can make in single installation we can make one profile as the default profile. In single installation, suppose home test9 IBM WebSphere app server is the product location. In that installation, yesterday in last class we created app server profile. So today I am creating deployment manager. So if I create multiple profiles in single installation, we can make one profile as the default profile. But by default, the first installed profile is the default profile. So if we want to change that, so select this box, select this, checkbox. Okay, make this profile as the default profile. So the user.
Venkat, so why do we need to have a default profile? Like after the DMGR is installed, we will have two profiles on this server. One as application server, another as DMGR. So is it necessary to have a default profile on a?
No, it's not required actually, because the use advantage of the default profile is to start those servers. Okay, to start the servers, generally we start from the profile bin location. Okay, we go to the profile location, profile bin, particular profile bin, and start the servers from there. If the profile is the default profile, then we don't need to go to that profile. Directly we can start that servers from the app server bin. Okay, but we can start other profiles servers also. But we have to, if the profile is default profile, we don't need to pass any arguments. Directly we can start the servers. If the profile is non-default, then we have to pass profile name. Okay, to start the server from app server bin. From app server bin, we have to pass the profile name also.
Okay. Okay.
You understand?
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
Okay. So click next.
So you decided not to make DMGR as a default profile.
Yeah.
Okay. So now profile is the default profile.
App server is the default profile.
Okay, right. Got it.
So node name is DMGR node, and cell name is DMGR cell. Okay, and host name is localhost. Click next. Click next.
Venkat, if we federate application server node with DMGR, and can we access the application server admin console? Can we access last class?
No.
No, we can't.
Yeah.
Either we have.
So the administrative interface is single point. Okay, the administrative interface access is single point. We can access from the DMGR only.
Okay, so the moment we federate node, then we can't access it from the admin console. Access from the DM.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
So DMGR, these are what are the ports we are seeing in the left side. Those are the default ports, and these are the available ports in this machine. So click next. Create.
In the
you got real quick. So the thing is, what happened is that the reason it shows those ports, those default ports, it's the same default ports for DMGR and then also for the app servers. But you changed the other ports. That's why those default ports again, right?
Yeah, correct. For app server, we change it to 10,000 series, right?
Yeah, that's
yeah.
what he's.
So I'm wondering now if you had those. Yeah. And a question for DMGR, do we, if let's say if we have a clustered environment, do we need to have this deployment manager in every node, or is it just to have it in? I mean, one node is sufficient?
To create the cluster?
No, just is it necessary to have it in the other nodes? Let's say you create the cluster. Yeah, to create the cluster also.
We need multiple nodes, okay? In real time, so cluster we can create on single node or multiple nodes also, but in real time we federate multiple nodes.
Okay.
No, Venkat, what he's asking is that do we need to have a DMGR for each node that is on the cluster?
No, we don't need DMGR is single point, okay? So we don't need to install multiple DMGRs. For one cluster, one deployment manager is enough.
Oh, okay. So node 1, we can just have the DMGR on node 1, and then all of the servers in the cluster can use that.
Correct. The same DMGR. Yes, exactly. So we just install the deployment manager we are installing. So DMGR profile will be installed in the profiles location by default. If we want, we can customize that location also. So this profile contains configuration. The configuration we can find in the config folder. Okay, that profile configuration. Generally, the DMGR configuration we call master configuration. Okay, so DMGR configuration we call master configuration. So again, the DMGR, each profile contains the same hierarchy, the folder hierarchy. It contains one cell name, nodes, and one node name. And the server name is, the default server name is DMGR. We cannot change the server name. Okay. So DMGR is the fixed. Okay. So we cannot change the server name. So cell name, nodes, node name. So cell can have multiple nodes, but by default, when install the deployment manager profile, it contains only one node. That node also contains only one server. So again, in each scope, it contains different configuration files. So in DMGR cell location, it contains different configurations. Node level, it contains different configurations, and server level also, it contains the configurations. So to manage these all configurations, we have two administrative clients. One is Web Admin Console. We using the ISC Lite, we access that console, and the second one is scripting client, wsadmin.sh. Okay, we can do the managing that configuration using either these two ways.
Venkat, admin console, you're talking something IBM integrated solution is the one that.
Yeah, so ISC Lite means integrated solutions console. So we call administrative console. Okay, web administrative console. The application we call web admin console. So ISC means integrated solutions console. Okay, and now the purpose of the deployment manager is single point administration. Okay, so we can manage multiple other profiles. Okay, multiple app server profiles or custom profiles. Other profiles means app servers and custom profiles. We can manage multiple profiles using this DMGR process. But to manage those profiles, we have to federate the nodes of those profiles. So once we federated, that is a single point management. Okay, using the deployment manager admin console, we can manage all other app server profile servers. Okay, we can start the server, stop the servers, change the configurations, and not only that, once we federated, we can set up high available environments, create by high available and scaling environments by creating the clusters using the DMGR. Okay. So DMGR profile was installed successfully. Finish. Exit. Cells, cell name, nodes. Node name is DMGR cell, DMGR node. Server name is DMGR process. Okay. And verify the server index.xml under the DMGR node. So that server index.xml contains the port numbers of the DMGR process and the deployed apps in the DMGR process. So 3 applications are installed in the deployment manager. One is WebSphere WSDM ISC Lite and some ODIS. These three are the system apps, not any sample applications. So process server type is deployment manager and server name is DMGR.
Venkat, is just by looking at server index.xml, we can make it out the application is system application or user application.
Can you repeat again? I did not get it. Yeah, voice is break.
Yeah, it's echoing for everybody. Okay, is there any way how we can make it out that the install application is system application or user application just by looking at server index.xml file?
These are installed apps. Okay, these are installed apps. You are asking about that? These are already
I'm asking how can somebody make it out that these applications are system application or user-based application?
Okay. So if these are the system apps, these will be these applications we can find under the WAS home system apps. Okay.
Okay, that is the only.
Yeah, that is the only way.
Okay. Right.
Or else, generally, if for app server profile, if you start the administrative, if you access the admin console, you cannot see any system applications in the administrative console. Only we see the sample applications. If in the app server profile, we can find like that.
Oh, you're saying that if we see from integrated solution console, we will see only
only business applications only we can see. Okay, system apps it won't display the system applications.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so now to access the DMGR admin console, we require admin host port. So admin host port is 9043 is a secure port number in this installation. Okay, this one. So we have these 3 system applications in the app server profile and deployment manager profile also. Okay.
Yep.
To access the admin console runs in the JVM, that is DMGR. So to access that application, we need to start the tab. To start the tab, we need to start the server. Okay. The server name is DMGR. So to start that server, we can do it in 2 ways. Either start server.sh DMGR or start server.sh DMGR or start manager.sh. This is the single command. Okay. Execute this command to start the deployment manager.
Venkat, what if we start the deployment manager server but not the application server? In that case, we will not be able to install application. Right?
Correct. So, what is your question? Can you repeat again? If you start the
If I start the DMGR server, but not the application server, so in that case, while accessing it from ISC, Integrated Solution Console, I will not be able to install application as usual is the case because server is not started. I mean, application server is not started. Am I right?
No, we can see the applications and servers, everything, okay? But we cannot manage, okay? We cannot start the servers until there is some mediator server is there, right? So that is node agent. If node agent is up, we can manage the servers and applications also. If node agent is down, we can see the servers and applications, but we cannot manage from the deployment manager.
Okay. Okay.
So DMGR is up. Now this is the so whenever the server is started, one process ID will be created for that process. So 23649. So DMGR is also one Java process. So we can find that running if the process is running, we can see here. So 23649. So the DMGR is the process name. Okay. So this is also Java process. So the service name is DMGR. This is also Java process, and it creates one PID file in the logs location. So PID file is dmgr.pid. So in PID it writes the process ID in the PID file. Okay. Now we started deployment manager also. Access the administrative console.
Venkat, wanted to ask a question. Now, where would we check to see if our installation was successful, if there was any errors when starting up DMGR? Would it be system out log or start server or system?
No, if DMGR is installed successful, we can see 1 second. Not in this log. DMGR logs. I think there will be one profile will be created, one text file. Yes.
Venkat, in between keep doing that PWD, so later on when we go through, we know where we are exactly.
Okay, okay. So see here I am seeing the logs. So under app server logs, manage profiles. So there I am seeing DMGR profile underscore create log. Okay. So open that log. So at the end, insta conf success. Okay, the code. This is the successful code. So that means the DMGR profile was installed successfully.
Venkat, one more question I wanted to ask you was, now that we have installed everything, now let's say the port numbers are configured, the what do you call it, the local, what do you call it, the HTTP site's been set. Where would we find all this configuration information? Where would it be configured in? Is there a config.xml line somewhere on the server?
Yeah, port numbers we configure in the server index.xml only. Okay, but some port numbers we have to change. If you change the port number in server index.xml and virtual hosts.xml also, we have to change the port numbers. Okay, some port numbers, those are default host ports and admin host ports. Okay, we add in the virtual hosts.xml file also. So if you change any default ports and virtual default ports or admin host ports, we have to change in the, if suppose you change manually, then you have to change in server index.xml and virtual hosts.xml file. Okay, in both locations we have to change the port numbers if you are changing manually. Okay. So app server profiles. So DMGR is up. So changing the port number, suppose in the app server profile, we have to change in two locations: cd config cells, cell name, vi virtual hosts.xml. So virtual host.xml under the cell, one virtual host.xml file will be created. So we have to change in that default host ports and admin host ports will be added in the virtual host.xml. We have to change in that file and server index.xml. So this is the DMGR admin console application. So under the servers, we don't see any servers here, WebSphere application servers, because the DMGR server type is deployment manager. Under WebSphere application servers, we can see the server type is application server. Okay, there are no application servers in the DMGR profile. So the DMGR configuration we can see under the system administration. So apps also we cannot see anything. Apps only we can see the installed applications on the application server. So for DMGR configuration, go to system administration and under deployment manager, we can see the DMGR configuration here. Okay. we can stop the deployment manager process, but we cannot start. Okay, once we stop the DMGR from here, we cannot access this app. Okay, we cannot access this app because this app is running inside the deployment manager. If DMGR is stopped, we cannot access this admin console. So again, we have to start the deployment manager manually. So the port numbers we can see here for the DMGR process. Yeah.
Sure. I had a question now. Now this might be taking it back a little bit, but the DMGR, we have a different URL. We're accessing it, and the thing is, when I'm looking at it, some of the links are similar to the admin console links. So I'm wondering, admin console is to manage the applications, and this is to manage servers, or is this what's the difference?
Difference between what? Difference between admin console in the deployment manager and admin console in app server profile?
No. Difference between we have two URLs, one for deployment manager. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we have, as of now, we have installed two profiles. One is app server, one is deployment manager. In each profile, to manage that profile configuration, we have one administrative console in each profile. So the admin console are similar. Most of the things are similar in both administrative console. But in DMGR, we can see some more links. Okay, some more extra links in the DMGR profile. Those are under server types. We can see web servers and other type of servers, and we can see the clusters also. Using the deployment manager, we can create the clusters, but in app server profile, in that admin console, we cannot see those links. Okay, these servers details and clusters details. Okay, we don't see those links in the app server profile.
So in the app server profile, it's just to manage just system applications, or
no, only we manage in both profiles. We can manage only the business applications. We don't manage system applications. Okay. So
okay.
Here also in the DMGR also we don't manage, and in app server also we don't manage the system applications. We manage only business applications.
And we can use either.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now at the moment we have two profiles, but using the deployment manager, we cannot manage the app server at the moment. We have two profiles in this machine in the installation. So we have two profiles. One is DMGR. So one is DMGR and another one is app server profile. So for DMGR profile, the cell name is DMGR cell, and it contains one node, and it contains one DMGR process. For app server profile, the cell name is app server cell, and node name is app node, and the server name is server one. So the deployment manager purpose is single point management. Okay, that means we can manage the other profile servers also, but by default we cannot manage. By default we cannot manage. So to manage this complete app node, okay, so we cannot manage by default. To manage, so DMGR process only manage the nodes which are in the deployment manager cell. DMGR process manage the nodes which are in the DMGR cell. Okay, currently in the DMGR cell only one node is there, that is DMGR node. So the app node is in other cell, not in the DMGR cell. So we cannot manage that node configurations. So to manage app node configurations from the DMGR process, what we have to do is we have to move this node to the DMGR cell. Okay, we have to move that app node to the DMGR cell so that the app node will be under DMGR cell. Okay, once we move, so we can manage that multiple nodes which are in the DMGR cell from the DMGR process. The moving the app node configuration to the deployment manager cell, that concept, that process we call federation. Federation is moving the node configuration to the DMGR cell. Okay. Once we federated, so DMGR cell can have two nodes. So using the DMGR process, that admin console, DMGR admin console, we can manage the nodes and servers, the federated node and the servers also. Okay, from this admin console. So did you understand the federation?
Yeah, yeah, and I understand the federation. It's we're going to be the thing is it's just the process of moving the nodes into DMGR so to manage all of them from one place.
Yeah, correct.
And I had a question now. Once we move it, what would our purpose be for app server cell? Is it going to still host the server on there? And what would we manage from there?
The cell will be deleted. Okay, the cell level configurations and cell will be app server cell will be deleted. Okay.
Okay. Now, this is a question. Now, what was the purpose that we used? We created that the app server profile first. Could we not do it from the deployment manager instead?
No.
Is it possible? No, it's not. Okay.
No. Okay, so you understand federation, right? So now I'm going to federate the app server profile with the DMGR to the DMGR cell. So federation we can do in multiple ways. Federation we can do in multiple ways. Okay, either that means what federation?
I want to ask.
Yeah.
I was wondering, is it possible for you to, like, let's say, open a text file and then type down the important directories that we should pay attention to in real life?
Yeah. Okay. So are you recording these sessions? You record these sessions, okay? You can follow later if you.
We cannot record these sessions, Venkat. Only they will be providing.
Okay, they give the organizer access to you. Okay, so once they give the organizer access, you can record the sessions. Actually, they are recording, but you also can record the sessions from your side. Okay.
Yeah, but they are not giving. So they will be sharing it later on.
Okay. Okay. No. Generally, they give the access also. Check with them once. Okay. So. Okay.
And also, can you just kind of minimize or whatever this scheduled scan, whatever that is?
Which one? Yeah, schedule scan, right? One second. How to minimize that one? It is not disappearing. How to?
It's waiting for scanning to a system, I guess.
Yeah.
Actually, I think you can click on that arrow on the side of the Wi-Fi thing, and I'm not sure if it will go away.
Now in the tray, if you can right click on that.
Okay.
Just all the way to the right, click on the show desktop maybe. When you click the edge of the.
Okay, I right click.
No, all the way next to the time. Just click that area where it shows the desktop. All the way in the end. Next to.
Here.
No, next to 12:05:15. More to the right.
Okay.
A little more. Yeah, click there. Show desktop. Strange. Or maybe just clicked on scheduled scan.
No, it is not.
Okay, anyway, leave it there.
Yeah. So the next, okay. Federation I cover in the next session. Okay. So before that, I'll discuss about if the profile is the default and non-default. The difference between default and non-default. So currently, we can start the servers from the app server bin location and profile bin also. We can start the servers from the app server bin and profile bin also. Okay. So currently app server profile is the default profile. So if the profile is default profile, we can start that server from the app server bin directly. Okay. We don't need to pass any argument. So if you start server 1. So suppose I have two profiles, app server 01 and app server 02 in the same installation. So two profiles contains the servers. So same server name, server 1 and server 1. Okay. So if I start server 1, the server will be started in the default profile. Okay. So if I have two profiles, two app server 0 and app server 02, the server will be started from the default first installed profile only. So to start the specific profile server, we have to pass profile name. We have to pass profile name. So suppose app server 01 is the default profile. To start that server from the app server bin, we don't need to pass profile name for the default profile. So we have to to start other profile servers, non-default profile servers, we have to pass the profile name argument. Okay, so that we can start those servers from the app server bin. So that is the difference between the default profile and non-default profile.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. And profiles, app server bin. So whenever we execute any command from the profile bin, okay. So suppose start server we execute, that start server internally invokes the start server.sh from the app server bin only. Okay. In the profile bin, there is not much syntax for start server. So under the profile bin start server, again invoking the start server script in the app server bin location. Was home is the product install location, that is still app server and bin, and again it is invoking the start server in the app server bin location. Okay. So every command in the profile bin internally invokes the scripts in the app server bin location. Okay. So and we installed two profiles. One is DMGR and one is app server. We verified. So we have verified the both profiles has different administrative consoles. That is administrative client, and one more is wsadmin.sh is another administrative client. So when you access the wsadmin.sh, so go to that particular profile bin. So I'm in app server profile bin. So to access wsadmin.sh, enter wsadmin.sh. So only we can access the administrative clients if the server is running. Okay, if the app server is running, then only we can access the either administrative console or wsadmin.sh.
Venkat, I have one question here.
Yeah.
If we move to some other profile bin that is not a default profile, and when we give the command as wsadmin sh, it only opens the admin console of particular profile, or will that open default profile console?
So can you repeat it? So multiple. Can you repeat again?
Okay, fine. We are in app server profile, which is not a default profile here, right? Okay, when we do wsadmin.sh, will that open default profile console, or will it open this app server console?
No, app server profile related configuration we can. No, this wsadmin generally we can manage. This is one administrative client. Using this administrative client, we manage that particular profile's configuration. Okay. So when we start the wsadmin from the app server profile bin, that will be we can manage that app server profile configuration only. Okay. Not the other profiles. That is by default. So see here, wsadmin is connected to process server 1 on the node app node using SOAP connector port. The type of the process is unmanaged process. Okay. So before federation, we call that process as unmanaged process. After federation, the process will become the app server will become managed process. That means we can manage the app server from the DMG. Okay. So before that, it is unmanaged. So when I execute, yeah.
Suppose app server is also running and DMGR is also running. We have been logged into admin console through app server profile. Okay, is there any way where we can switch to DMGR console from the app server console?
No, there is no way. Okay, we cannot switch. So two consoles are different consoles. Okay. By default, okay, these all consoles we can access before federation only. Okay, after federation, the console will be single console. Okay, the console. So when I execute wsadmin.sh from the DMGR bin location, so when I execute from the app server bin location, that is connected to the server 1. So when I execute from the DMGR bin, that is connected to DMGR's process.
Okay, gotcha.
That will be connected to the DMGR process. That means the administrative clients are before federation. The administrative clients are completely isolated. Okay. So for app server profile, there will be one administrative console. For DMGR, one admin console. For app server profile, one wsadmin.sh. For DMGR profile, one wsadmin.sh scripting client is there. Okay. You understand, right?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. So in the next class, I will federate the app server node to the deployment manager. Mainly in the federation, we have to understand what are the changes are happening in the federation. Okay. So multiple changes will be happens in the federation. So we have to understand what are the changes are happening in the federation process. Okay.
Venkat, can you share me installation manager files?
Yeah,
I'll
I
just ping you
should.
my Gmail ID here.
Okay.
Venkat,
Okay.
need installation manager as well as ISO image of CentOS. I think the last class I defined it. It took me some other guy, I guess. And share with
Yeah. Can you share your mail IDs? Can you share your mail IDs in
this
the
with
chat?
wait.
Venkat, you got my mail ID?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm thinking in the chat 2003@gmail.com. Did you get it?
Yeah. Aditya Anand, right?
Yeah, aditya.anand2003@gmail.com. I pinged you in the chat.
Okay.
So I requested for manager and ISO file.
I will share this later. Okay. I'm closing the session.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.